us today. Excited to have Vamsi Krishna here with me. I'm John Gross, VP of Sales at Lumensi. And this is an exciting time for IP and for AI. It's everywhere we turn around. And today we're going to cover AI and its applications for the IP practice. And let me move forward and just kind of start a little bit with some of the ground rules. We're going to keep everybody muted, just makes the conversation flow a little bit faster. But feel free to use the chat if you have any questions or comments as we go through this. Feel free to put in questions. Hopefully we'll have some time at the end to cover some of those. And those that we don't, we'll answer individually. And we're going to be recording this, and we're also going to have a link to the recording available for the folks afterwards, as well as an ebook that we're going to share that goes into a little bit more detail. So with that, real quickly, I just wanted to give an overview of Lumensi. Lumensi is a full-service IP consulting firm and really handles a full IP lifecycle from early-stage prosecution and transactional work to litigation support. And we have a global team from San Francisco to India, and we've looked at 100,000 of patents and been responsible for over $3 billion worth of settlements. So some interesting work. Vamsi and team have done a great job of building up this company. Great. And with that, let's kind of move forward. I guess what I'd like to kind of get an idea of from you, Vamsi, is as you are looking at AI today, why does AI matter right now in IP? What's happened that it's been a focus?
Yeah, that's a right place to start, John. AI in IP right now is sitting in a very noisy environment. Every week there's a new tool. Every platform kind of claims automation. Every vendor promises transformation. But IP is not like marketing analytics or document summarization. IP is technical, it's legal, it's often litigation sensitive. And the cost of being wrong is very high. So the practical way to think about IP and AI is this: AI is not an augmentation story. It's not an automation story. It's an augmentation story. It works best when it absorbs research volume and structures complexity, while humans retain judgment, defensibility, and accountability. If you think of AI as replacing expertise, you'll be disappointed. If you think of AI as expanding the capacity for experienced teams, you'll start to see where it truly works. There are three structural shifts that are happening. First, the R&D velocity. Companies are innovating faster than legacy IP workflows were designed for. And second, portfolio expansion. Larger portfolios means more maintenance, more renewals, more comparative analysis. And third, global coordination. US, EP, Asia, complexity multiplies. But here's what hasn't changed: risk tolerance. No one is comfortable missing prior art. No one wants a weak claim chart. No one wants a surprise exposure during diligence. So what we're seeing is not a lack of talent; it's a scale mismatch. If IP teams are being asked to do more analysis per unit time without sacrificing defensibility, AI becomes relevant because it helps teams handle structured volume more intelligently. It doesn't remove risk; it helps manage workload without lowering standards. It helps us really get efficient and strategize deeper. And a lot of cost control by managing the overheads and reducing workflow friction.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I think to your point, I think people look at AI and they think it's going to automate the full process and they can just plug and play, and that's not really the case. So talk a little bit more, I guess, maybe where AI fits in today and maybe where it doesn't.
Yeah. AI fits best in structured, repeatable, data-heavy workflows. For example, prior art discovery, initial relevance screening, and claim element structuring, and also portfolio clustering, right? Competitive filing, trend analysis, These are pattern recognition problems, and hence, there is a lot of structure and repeatability and data heaviness involved here. Where AI doesn't really belong is final legal opinions. We still need attorneys for that, and litigation strategy. Also, commercial risk acceptance. That is something that's very high value and important. We are far away from it right now. And claim construction arguments. Those are some things which AI doesn't belong yet. IP remains a human accountability discipline. The right framing is AI accelerates preparation, experts drive conclusions, and that distinction is really critical.
Yeah, and I think that makes total sense. I think it sounds like what you're saying is AI is going to get you to the starting line faster, but the strategy is still going to stay with the legal teams, and you still need that human in the loop, as everyone talks about, to make sure that AI is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
So with that in mind, I guess let's talk about some of the practical IP use cases. When you look at faster research, how has AI changed prior art search, for example, when it's applied correctly?
Yeah, yeah. Let's be honest. Prior art search is where most AI claims start. Where AI genuinely helps is semantic understanding. Traditional keyword search misses. They miss all the references because patents describe similar concepts using very different language. AI models can detect functional similarity, but not just word overlap. That's very powerful. That broadens coverage, but here's where it can fail miserably. Uh, False positives, surface level similarity without claim limitation alignment. That's what I've seen a lot of teams struggle with. So the winning model is AI expands the universe intelligently. Experts narrow and validate. If blindly automated, you increase a lot of noise, and if intelligently integrated, you increase coverage confidence.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So, the other thing that I'm seeing is that risk conversations are happening earlier. How does AI change that timing, or does it?
Yeah, absolutely. Historically, risk discovery happens late, often when product decisions are already logged in. AI allows earlier hypothesis screening. This is critical. You can run structured comparisons to surface potential overlaps earlier in the product lifecycle. But, and this is important, AI does not produce FTO opinions, it produces signals. Those signals must be interpreted by experienced counsel. The value is really the timing. Earlier signal means better opportunity and optionality always.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as far as claim mapping, that's traditionally has been a very manual process, very labor intensive. Where does AI actually help with that today?
Absolutely. Claim mapping or claim charting, it has two components to it: intellectual reasoning and mechanical structuring or formatting and getting things right in the right place. AI is very good at structuring. It can break claims into elements, align technical text candidates, suggest mapping anchors. Where it fails really bad is nuanced interpretation of limitations. We are still far from it. Subtle claim construction dependencies, and also litigation strategy alignment. So again, hybrid models, they win. AI draft structure, experts refine alignment and defensibility. That's really the key right now. Blind automation increases litigation risk. A clear structured augmentation that increases productivity.
Right, absolutely. So, what about portfolio intelligence? How does that change at the portfolio level with AI?
Yeah, yeah. This is where AI starts delivering strategic clarity. For example, clustering thousands of patterns by technical theme, identifying overlap across internal teams, and also tracking competitor filing shifts, mapping white space areas, which are very critical. But as with always, good powers, there is a risk. But here's the risk. If clustering models are poorly trained, you misclassify strategic decisions. So AI is powerful here, but it must be grounded in domain-trained feedback loops. AI in portfolio strategy works best when it's used as a decision support dashboard, not as a decision engine.
Yeah, great. So when you look at deploying AI in IP in the right way, what are some of the maybe the biggest mistakes that you see when people employ AI?
Yeah, there are a lot to list, but two big mistakes I've seen repeatedly happening. When you try to automate everything at once, that's where you fail miserably. And trusting outputs without traceability. Traceability is really a keyword that's gaining more popularity in AI implementation nowadays. Now, AI works best in contained pilots. Really defining the workflow very clearly and it's contained. Pick one friction heavy workflow and test it. Measure cycle time reduction and measure quality retention. Then expand. That's really the holy grail of getting this right. IP teams should treat AI deployment like introducing a new associate, not like installing a plug and play machine.
Yeah. So I know that hallucinations get a lot of focus today. What do you see as some of the best ways maybe to manage hallucination risk?
Yeah, absolutely. IP cannot tolerate unsupported outputs. So guardrails are mandatory. Every key insight must link back to source material. No black box summaries used in isolation or no unsupported claim comparisons. Right? Structured citation enforcement is really important. Hallucinations are not eliminated even then. They're controlled through architecture. So the architecture is really the key to get lower the risk in hallucination. AI challenge changes the risk profile. It does not eliminate risk.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the old adage, trust but verify, right? You get the output faster, but you need to make sure that the output's correct. Otherwise, speed doesn't really make any difference.
Absolutely.
So this is kind of one of my favorite slides here because I think what it does is it separates good AI from flash AI. And there's a lot of flash AI out there. In your opinion, what would you say makes AI trustworthy in IP workflows?
Yeah, I think four layers really matter. Semantic depth, understanding the meaning and not keywords, and grounded outputs like every insight tied to the real documents that you're referencing, and structured relationships like claims, citations, families mapped clearly. So speed is meaningless without defensibility. So in IP, kind of explainability beats automation every time. So getting the accuracy really right, and also ensuring confidentiality is ingrained in the product from by design. And being in the IP and legal domain, it's important to get the compliance front and center and make sure you have all the clear records maintained as like really the important area. And as I said earlier, also explainability is very key. Uh, Again, speed is meaningless without defensibility. So you need to really explain the logic and come up with clear recommendations. And without human involvement, it gets still we are not there yet. So it's very important to kind of back it up with human oversight and being accountable for the IP outcomes.
Yeah, I think AI has evolved quite a bit. In the early days, I think people were taking AI output as the gospel and the truth. And I think what people have started to realize, and I think what you emphasize is that accountability doesn't move from professional to AI. It stays with the professionals, and it's a speed that happens. But it's to your point, speed doesn't matter if you're dealing with hallucinations or poor output. So I think that's what we deal with.
Yeah, responsible AI is like engineered discipline, and it's not like a feature adoption. Accountability still remains with human.
Right. So that was kind of a quick rundown, but I have gotten quite a few questions, and if we can, let me see if we can handle a number of these. So here's one of the questions I actually get quite a bit. It says, how do you decide what should be AI assisted but versus what must stay fully expert-led in IP workflows?
Yeah, absolutely. I think strategic decisions and how you posture your litigation and risk acceptance, um, also claim construction, those are definitely expert-led and should stick with experts. AI, supports the inputs of these areas, but experts really own the outputs.
Yeah, that's, and I think that's a theme we see, time and time again. And so I've got a couple more questions, but I have one that I've been thinking about too is where do you see the future of AI in IP? I mean, I know today some of the things it does, but what do you think the next iteration of AI would be with regards to AIP work?
Yeah, I think leveraging the current models and really, getting to the nuances of how experts really think about the areas that I just mentioned, like strategic decision making and litigation posture, and risk acceptance and claim construction areas, right? So really training or making sure AI models improve and go towards that direction is where I think as models become more and more complex and more powerful, these are the directions in which the models can improve and provide better outcomes to the practitioners.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Absolutely. Um, okay, another question I got is, what's the right way to evaluate AI prior art search quality beyond it found something?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, can't be, just that, hey, it found something, right? But we need to measure it by the recall rate, precision of, the search results, and also relevance depth. And citation defensibility is also one of the key areas. So, and most importantly, expert validation consistency, right? So that's really the quality metrics that helps to, kind of evaluate the search strength and prior art
Yeah.
search results.
Okay. How can IP teams use AI to improve invention disclosure triage and filing prioritization?
Yeah, there is, current IP systems, they can cluster disclosures and highlight novelty signals. Um, and also, they identify overlap with existing filings, which is, a lot of man hours to do it efficiently right now. But with AI, you can really, get to the core areas of existing filings and understand the overlaps very quickly. But in inventorship, the claim scope and filing priority still remain expert-driven decisions. AI informs really the prioritization areas. It cannot help decide it, altogether right now.
Yeah, great. And I think we talked a little bit about this, but maybe it bears repeating. So, what's the biggest mistake teams make when applying generic LLMs to patent grade work?
Yeah, when you apply consumer grade AI for patent work, generic LLMs kind of they have very high chance of hallucinating. They fabricate citations, which is a disastrous outcome. And they also lack domain grounding, right? They're general purpose LLMs, kind of trained over the entire human output, written output so far. So they lack that grounding of the specific domain we are in. And they operate outside secure environments, which is even more scary when you really are dealing with confidential information. And they also don't structure claim relationships properly yet. I think we probably in the near term, but not yet. Intellectual property really demands domain engineered systems. We are a little far from them yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably just at, even though AI seems like it's gone, made such great strides to this point. I think we're going to see, more leaps and bounds, and especially more customization as AI gets a little bit better, kind of sector by sector. Um, so another question I got is, how do you make AI outputs reviewable for stakeholders like inventors, counsel, and leadership?
Yeah. One key thing is to structure the outputs in the way that makes sense for the overall workflow. Kind of element by element breakdown of the work. link the citations to each and every mapping that you do, link them back to the right citations, and also have exportable formats, right? Which is kind of very important. You can't just have formats that are not exportable, and having clear reasoning charts. Right? If counsel cannot defend the charts, it shouldn't even enter workflows. So that becomes the mantra.
Yeah, I mean, I think all this has been really great. I think, and we have a couple more questions, but before we kind of end, I want to make sure we have time to kind of let you free form a little bit. Is there any topic that we haven't hit upon that you think is critical for people to understand about AI and IP that may change the way they work or may enhance the way they work that we haven't discussed yet?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we touched upon all the key areas. But as I have said earlier, um, you know, really picking the high friction workflows that actually leverages, AI structure, architecture, and the current, areas which AI does really better, right? Those become the high important items an IP practitioner or IP house should really focus on, rather than thinking every problem could be automated or we can throw AI at them. So I think understanding the current architectures, and the areas where traceability is very high, defensibility is very high, becomes very important for IP practitioners to think about, and then bring the workflows with this thinking in mind will help get the right kind of AI leverage, if you will, to the solutions that you develop using AI.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Well, I know we covered a lot in a short period of time, and we do have some more questions, but we're running tight on time. I will get those questions to you, Vamsi, and we can respond to them individually. But I do want to let people know that we've recorded this session. We'll share the link with everybody. We also developed an ebook which goes into this. We can only do so much in the short period of time, but we've got this ebook that goes into a lot more detail. And welcome anyone to reach out to us directly if you've got additional questions we haven't covered. But thank you for your time. We're excited to talk about this topic, and we think this will be one that we're going to be talking about constantly and in different ways. So, Vamsi, thanks for your insights and joining today. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. We appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.